going on, guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another Division 2 video and another episode of Hands On. Both myself and TwoSixNine just got back from E3 today and we had a chance to go hands on with the Division 2. Super exciting. Of course, during the Xbox press conference today, they dropped the trailer for it. We saw our first glimpse of gameplay, and then to go and follow that and actually go hands on the very same day, really, really cool. So I'm here with TwoSixNine. Of course, you're the one playing through this one. So initial impressions, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I didn't think that we were going to get our hands on so early.
Yeah.
I thought they were just going to show off like a small trailer, like the usual text thing that they usually do with the infographics and like they did with the reveal of the Division.
Yeah.
But we actually got our hands on. We were able to play it as well at the same time. So I was super happy to do that. It's nice to be back in the Division. I haven't played the Division in a while now.
Yeah.
I've been on mostly playing Monster Hunter and chilling on that. But like Division's definitely one of those games that's like near and dear to me. It's just that I haven't been into it and I haven't really I know it's got a lot better and I wanted to jump into it, but I was like, I'm gonna wait until the Division 2 was coming. You could feel it. You could feel it in the air.
Exactly.
So, now we're back into it. But what I played, it feels familiar. It is the Division. It's not like a dramatic departure from what you've seen before, but it feels like there are changes and it feels kind of fresh in a new way.
Yes,
in terms of there are stuff. It felt odd but familiar because it's got new stuff in it, but it's not the game that you remember it being.
Yeah, exactly. I see what you mean. Yeah. In fact, actually, take a moment to pause for a second, but this got everyone hyped, right? Just walking around trying to flatten grass right now. This is like the Division 2's take on the kind of the garbage.
That is the biggest selling point right there. Just like flattening the grass. 10 out of 10 right there.
And we did make sure you can still close car doors as well. These ones are already closed, but we'll close on the other side. But anyway, speaking more specifically about this gameplay. So, TwoSixNine's playing through this one. If there are any kind of quick jumps you guys see, it's because we had to cut out menus, so we can't show you guys everything right now. But this is us running through a mission. So, to set the scene, this is basically, these agents have just approached endgame. They've just hit level 30. So this isn't like end game. This is sort of like, you completed the campaign. You got there. They're decked out in purple gear. They've got... most of these agents have only got one skill equipped, although at this point in the game you would have two. So obviously on the skill front, there are new skills. So, let's talk a little bit about your loadout that, that you're running with here. So what do you have, like, weapon-wise?
So I think I ended up picking up one of the ARs. So that you could select whatever weapon you're doing. I think it's an M4. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. And I ended up picking up one of the submachine guns as well.
Yeah.
So I just went with those two loadouts. But you could pick whatever you want. They had like an LMG, they had like a sniper in there and everything.
Yeah, and weapons have got the kind of, the usual sort of stats you'd expect from the previous game. The usual sort of like depth, so you can still mod them. You've still got weapon talents. There seems to be slightly fewer talents on the weapons, so I don't know whether they're adopting like a single skill setup. But one thing worth calling out in this one, and in fact actually before that, there are some loot drops that you'll find in trees and you can kind of shoot them and they drop loot, which is kind of cool. But one thing worth talking about is the way that classes work. Now you can select specializations, and for the purpose of the demo, it's not a completely indicative sort of demonstration of the broader specialization. But for the purpose of the demo, specializations basically give you access to different power weapons. So the signature skills from old are actually gone, so they've basically been replaced with these power weapons. So your setup, you had a crossbow, right?
Yeah, I had a crossbow with explosive tips.
Yeah.
So I would shoot at the enemy. It would actually tear off some of the armor of the enemy on impact, and then explode after a while. And on the kind of heavier decked enemies and stuff like that, it actually like ripped through them.
Yeah, so you see it, don't you? Because everyone's
like doing
enemies...
about 3/4 of the enemy's health like per shot as well, and you get quite a lot of ammo. You have to actually find the ammo in the world. So even though you won't have it all the time, you do get a lot of, well, not all the time, but it feels like enough to say it's a viable thing. So you're walking around. After every encounter or so, you get like one set of free bullets. So you still need to use it sparingly, but you won't use it like massively all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, to that point, when you kind of destroy armor on enemies, you actually see some of it, like especially on the bigger elite enemies, you'll see visible parts breaking off, which looks really cool. But the other couple of ones, obviously, we only got to play with this class, but the other couple of ones, one of them had a grenade launcher, and one of them had a 50 cal sniper, which obviously we've been asking for quite a while in number one. And speaking to the devs after, it's really cool because the 50 cal one will actually pierce through multiple targets, and it actually has like a shockwave that it sort of like pushes out. Because 50 cals they're meaty weapons, right? So trying to shoot a person with that, whew, yeah. So yeah, that is essentially kind of the way that Specializations were working in the demo. There's more to them than we got to see, but at this stage in the kind of the sort of early stages, until they start exploring and talking a little bit more about the depth the game has, then they weren't going to tell us about the broader sense. So in this encounter at the moment, we are taking on one of the new factions. They are called the True Sons. So there are obviously going to be multiple new factions and whatnot, but we're fighting in Washington. Definitely kind of a nice sort of slightly more open setup, right? Because we're so used to that urban high-rise jungle, so it's quite nice to be like in a sort of slightly more open setup, right? Like, what do you think of the?
The environmental changes were definitely one that's on top of my list, and I was always welcome to see the changes. The fact that you can start, even in the trailer, they started off in kind of a forest area, and you can move through that, and you have your settlement that you're actually building up and all that stuff. It's great. I like the changes that they've made, and this gives the Division a completely different visual identity compared to the Division 1, where it was all in that urban kind of
exactly
massive area that is New York City. Obviously, you're going to get some of that in this, which we haven't seen yet, which is awesome. But
it's just nice to have the variety, right?
The variety and the different kind of setup.
So something else worth calling out as well, this specific event that we're doing, this is actually kind of like an event that takes place sort of like in the open world. It's not a specific mission per se.
It's called Control Point. So basically it happens systematically in the world, and it's an organic thing, so it happens from time to time. So that I feel like they're making a push to make the world a bit more interactive, and you have events that happen. So you go to this point, you shoot off a flare, you can get actual NPCs that actually help you complete this as well. So,
civilians come and join you, right?
Civilians come and join you, and you have waves of, not waves of enemies, you have enemies that come and invade, you take them out, and you unlock this point where you can actually help the civilians and deliver resources, and I think it'll give you a reward. I'm not entirely sure.
They refer to it sort of like a settlement, right? So like once you complete, you'll see it like shortly after the end of this gameplay, but once you complete this, then the civilians that kind of came to help you, they'll actually become essentially like an NPC around the settlement, and then when you go and speak to them, they'll have resources for you to deliver. So there's definitely, it sounds like they're trying to sort of, again, breathe some more life into the broader open world, because, in the previous game, like, you go out, you do your mission, you do what needs to be done, and then you kind of go back and it's barren again. So it's nice to sort of think, like, things like this with a control point. Yeah. You can actually, it might be one of those things that they regain control at different times, and obviously it'll keep you coming back, but at least for that particular moment, you're actually kind of making a change in the world, right?
Yeah, it's definitely their step in the direction of trying to remedy one of Division's biggest issues, which was like no end game. Stuff like this is definitely going to add for stuff that you can do post completion or leveling up to max as well.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. So this situation, obviously, you picked up some loot. You still have all the loot drops. You still got the kind of rarities and whatnot.
But then if you actually saw this, then I just picked up a blue set of ammo, and that is the actual specialization ammo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you see, it had like 3 bolts, and it does that goes straight into the crossbow that I can shoot out as well.
Yeah.
I also have an ability called a chem launcher. You might have seen me use it a few times. It was mapped to RB. We didn't have a secondary skill, but a lot of the other players in the session had different skills. So I think one had a drone, one had like a almost like a pod,
like mini rockets, right?
Yeah, mini pod that shot out like homing rockets, which kind of reminiscent of the Seeker mines. Almost.
Yeah.
The ability that I had was basically like a kind of like a zone lockdown type thing, or like a CC type thing. Like enemies wouldn't run through that, and you could actually throw grenades in it to kind of ignite it.
And you can chain them together, right? So you can shoot multiple things to create the clouds, and then you can chain them and go on to explode. But that's one of the cool things. Obviously, like new abilities. I mean, seeing the drone, although it's not like the companion drone from like the original trailers, it's still pretty cool to see. But for the time being, that's pretty much it. That was like a quick run through of our gameplay demo. It was only short. We only got to play through for about sort of 15 minutes, so there is a lot of stuff we still want to know, and of course, a lot of our personal questions really tie into endgame. Like, this was super fun to play, felt really good, looked really good. It was kind of like nice to be back in the Division, as 2.6 said. But ultimately, what I now want to know is, what are you guys doing when it comes to endgame? Like, what is going to keep me playing afterwards? So there's a lot of stuff they plan to do, and of course they've got their own live streams throughout the week, so I imagine we'll find out a lot more, and as and when we do, we'll keep you guys up to date. We're going to have plenty more Division coverage coming your way.
But before we actually go, don't worry guys, we have a lot of information that we scoured through while we were playing through.
Yeah.
So we'll come back with videos going through like information on like skills, the weapons that we were using, and have detailed names for those, even though I left them out in today's video, and anything else that we found out, and that will be coming soon.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, keep it locked if you want to find out a lot more about the game. For the time being, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, like, we super appreciated. Comment down below, let us know what you think. And thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.